the passage is primarily concerned with. So sometimes it's a good idea to read the very first sentence. It says the work of English writer after Vane changed markedly during the 1680s as she turned from writing plays to writing prose narratives. And so we have this major change here. It says, again, the work changed markedly. So major change. The major change was from plays to writing. And they call that writing prose form. So basically from the stage to books. Now, what is the passage primarily concerned with? Well, discussing this change. She left plays. Why? What was her motivation? It was to write. And as a result, what else did we learn? Well, we learned that she went on to explore tragedy, the nature of what it means to be tragedy, and also took a different approach than many of her contemporaries. But that's getting even a little bit more specific than we need. All we need is this big picture idea that we're trying to figure out what this person, and this person is probably important, is Carnell. Carnell is not Bing. Carnell is a writer herself, a literary critic. This literary critic is trying to figure out, well, give a reason for this change. Why did it happen? So let's look at some of the answer choices. Let's start with B, explaining one author's view, which could easily be Carnell, one author's view of Bain's contribution to the development of an emerging literary form. Now, this passage doesn't focus too much on an emerging literary form. It mentions this novel, it definitely talks about that. But again, it's primarily concerned with, and it's more focused on her, on Bain herself, how she changed from being a playwright to someone who writes prose narratives. So we get rid of answer choice B. Then we look at answer choice D, contrasting the approaches to tragedy taken. Now clearly the second paragraph contrasts the approaches of Bain and Dryden, but to get to that point we have to look here at the big picture, the first paragraph that talks about the focus here of this major change in what Bain is focusing on. So D is a little bit too specific. And then E, presenting one scholar's explanation for major development in Bain's literary career. Well, the scholar, of course, we have is Carnell, and what she's explaining here is this major development, change from plays to prose. And why? Well, the idea, again, that she believes she could say something about her time, her society, about women's roles and the private sphere of the home. She could do that through her prose. And that's the point of the passage. So answer choice E.